So, coming into this weekend, it was a fight between Ryan Cannon and Tom Longfield. Between them, there's the point standings, the podiums, and the race wins. Fastest lap straight, 2-1 in favour of Cannon.
Ryan Cannon. I'm 35 years old and I'm from Leven in Fife, Scotland.
Yeah, so I'm Tom Longfield, I'm 31 and I live in sunny Worcestershire.
I started karting at the age of 8-year-old at my local track in Cray East Scotland Kart Club. And I started racing Kz2 in 2017.
So I first got put in a go-kart, I was probably 5.5, 6 years old. Probably would have been Birmingham wheels. And then first ever race was down at Mansell Raceway, 1998.
The most memorable one is Dunkeswell, round 2 of the British, where I was basically gifted the win with a coming together in front of me on the final lap.
Most memorable moment for me has to be the main final down at Mansell.
It would mean everything. I mean, anybody that does karting in Britain, that has to be one of their ultimate goals.
To win the British title this year for me would be a dream come true, a dream we've chased since we were 8 years old, so it would mean everything.
So there is a look at the first contenders in KZ2. Joe Charlton there in the number 1 kart, Tom Longfield there in the number 17. At the end of the pre-final, Longfield conceded that, really, even though even if he won this race, Ryan Cannon would need to be excluded, for on a technicality, so nearly 30 points is the gap, and so the championship was all but won for Ryan Cannon. But that does not mean that Longfield will fight any less hard going into this round, because he still hasn't claimed his first British karting win. There is your 2021 champion-elect, Ryan Cannon, the Scotsman for Andy Fairless Racing. Andy Fairless, for many, many years, they ran Sam Moore to multiple titles. They ran Dan Kelly to multiple titles. They haven't had a championship in the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think Dan Kelly, maybe in 2018, was the last AFR driver to win a British KZ2 title. But Ryan Cannon, at the end of the first round at Shenington, Cannon was only 4th in the standings. But he now leads commandingly. What a fight it has been between himself and Tom Longfield. It's a shame that James Glenister hasn't been able to complete the season. He led the standings at the end of the opening round. Then by the time we left Mansell Raceway at round number 2, Glenister still led the championship. Dan Gould was up to 2nd. Ryan Cannon still only 4th in the championship standings, behind Longfield there at the end of round 2. But then at Rowra, for the 3rd round, it all went Cannon's way. He won. Longfield could only finish 2nd in the final, and that has, Longfield actually retired from the final at Rowra. Cannon came into this weekend with a 22-point lead, and it's only grown this weekend. Anthony, looking there in the eyes of Tom Longfield, the championship is all but over, but you've just got to go out there and win. And if Tom Longfield, although he hasn't had the pace so far this weekend, if he can take a first win in the British Championships, he'll take that. He'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's not had a win so far this year, has
he?
No,
he hasn't had a win at all in KZ2. But he is a great spokesman for the class.
Oh,
Tom
yeah,
Longfield,
100%.
He is an absolute, and when he took the kart up Shalsey Walsh Hill climb, he's thinking to himself, he's just going through, the motions. You're looking, when you look for drivers that want to try and really help and bring in more competition, then look no further than that man on your screen there, Tom Longfield, a fantastic spokesman for the KZ2 gearbox karting, and also a great ambassador for karting as well, and all the things that he doesn't like us talking about, because he's just a driver. But there he is, and there's Ryan Dad there at the back there with the glasses on. We got a few. Now we're walking past. There is the rock, walking past our commentary box that Matthew Higgins hit. The scrutineering team taking over. That is a huge rock. My word, that's a bit of curbing that has come out that Matthew Higgins has hit. Wow.
Now I know that the nose cone penalty is an undisputable. As well. I know we're going backwards here because KZ2 is about to go out track. I know that, but can it be because it's part of the track furniture?
Hey, nope, it's racing. You've got to take your licks. Sorry. I know that's no good.
That is a tough call.
That is a tough call, but that's the way it is. But there's the eyes of a champion. There are the eyes. 35-year-old Scotsman Ryan Cannon, second last year, and just easing himself there, visualising the track, going around, just studying the data on his steering wheel. No joviality in front ahead of this one. There's his dad again. They're running out the Andy Fairless Racing awning. You know, there's the clouds coming over, but the stars are shining bright out on the circuit in KZ2. Anthony, last year at fullback, I sadly wasn't able to commentate at fullback last year, but you were there, and it was a last corner.
It was indeed, yeah. Joe Charlton got that for, I think, 6th place, I think it was, is what he needed. 6th place, and Joe Charlton did take that one. You know, it was absolutely fantastic. We were off the chairs in the commentary box there, and you know,
there is Joe. You know, is Joe. So his title defence hasn't gone the way he wanted it to. Mechanical issue at Shennington that had to come from the back of the grid to get up to second. Then he had that massive crash at Mansell Raceway. The rebuilt kart didn't go for him. Couldn't get a new kart in time for Wera, so he had to struggle with an old chassis. But now it's all come together. The final round, the final round of the championship, he finds himself on the front row here. On the front row here is the starting lineup. Row 3 is Charlie Turner and Bradley Barrett. Row 4 is Miles Murphy and Alan Kenyon. There's Murphy on the 4th row. Then we've got row 5, Dan Gould and Ireland's Lee Ward. Ashley Lewis and Darren Allen round out the field. Well, Cannon wants to win this one from the front around Gasworks hairpin. It's the final race of the day. For those of you in the paddock, this is the time you just down tools and head over to the bank at the fence in the paddock to watch the first karting champion of the 2021 Wera Tools British Kart Championship crowned.
Definitely a race to watch then. If you're here at the circuit, if you're at home on your phone as well, share it out to your friends and family, of course, to watch this final race of 2021 in the Wera Tools British Kart Championship for KZ2. We're going to crown a champion, we're going to end a season, and we're going to see it all in the next 15 minutes.
In glorious Alpha Technicolor. James Glennison won the opening round at Shennington. Ryan Cannon ran round 2 at Mansell Raceway. Bradley Barrett won round 3 at Wera. Can we make it 4 winners out of 4 rounds in the British Championship this year? We are going to find out very, very shortly. Cannon wants to win it from the front. He's been dominant this weekend. Can Joe Charlton sign off his championship defence with a win? Can Josh Price take a win in his first season back in karting after being a British touring car driver? And can Tom Longfield, after many years of trying, finally take his first win as a British Championship driver? What a way to sign off a title challenge that would be. The engine notes are beginning to rise. For the final time this year, Anthony Jordan, KZ2 is nearly ready to go.
Let's see what can happen. As again, at the back of the grid, it looks like a stall again for the 33 car of Darren Allen. And it stalled earlier on as well. He's got it going now.
That's Ryan Cannon's teammate in the Andy Fairless team. But lights are red, lights are out, we're off and racing. It's a good start from Cannon side by side. And on the grass is Miles Murphy as they go into turn number 1.
Good start then from the field as they go through turn 1 once more. And look at that side by side. Murphy on the inside gets down the inside of Charlie Turner for Rush Performance. Side by side as they go through. Clean start from the entire grid. And down the inside, the 27 of Bradley Barrett gets past Price as he goes through. Now, Price was hoping maybe for a race win in this one. You know, he's had a tough old season, but wants to finish this season on a high, maybe on a podium as well.
Well, he's got a little way to go first because Bradley Barrett's up there in 4th place. But look at Joe Charlton hassling Ryan Cannon. So what does Ryan Cannon do? Does he let Joe Charlton go? You know, Tom Longfield is there in third position. Now, this is the situation of the driver. You know, there's so much at stake. Here comes Longfield at the inside. Oh, my word. Well, Longfield was not happy with Joe Charlton at the end of the pre-final after Charlton ran wide, and then Longfield reckons that, Charlton carried on defending and forced him off the track at nearly 90 miles an hour. Longfield is not hanging about. I think, Longfield wants to go out all guns blazing. So does Charlton. And Ryan Cannon wants to win a British title, not get involved in an incident, because if he gets an exclusion, that could be curtains. Now, let's have a quick look at the championship standings as they are at the moment, if we could, please, Mr. Disembodied Voice.
Right. Well, I spoke to Joe Charlton after the pre-final. I said, Joe, you're only 3 points away from getting third in the championship. And with the current positions as they are now, he gets third place before drop scores, and you can imagine that Alan Kenyon is going to want to get up those order quite quickly. Yep. He's in 7th place at the moment, and there
is Dan Gould out of the race. So Gould not featuring the top 10 of the point standings, but Longfield 624 points, Cannon 656. The gap is 32 points, so that is game over in terms of the championship. Although Cannon's still got to finish the race, and he's still got to pass a post-race scrutineering. So thank you. So there we are. But the main battle is, can Joe Charlton? And for Joe Charlton to finish third, he needs to make it. Oh, Josh Price out of the race again. Again, we're down to 10 runners. And Price there, who was on course for easily his best result of the season, and out of the race. Longfield now has got to try and find some pace in that kart to make something happen. He's on the podium, but he wants the top step of the podium. He's finished third before. Looking back at his Kz2 career the last 2 years, Tom Longfield, he's had 3 runner-up finishes and a 4th place effort. He is still yet to stand on the top step, but Ryan Cannon and Joe Charlton leading the way. What does Cannon do if Charlton attacks? Does Cannon defend, or does Cannon let Charlton go?
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, it's the final race of the year. Why don't we go out with a bang? Why don't we have a fantastic race to end the season in KZ2?
That's not what Ryan Cannon wants to hear.
Well, no, it's what the fans at home want to hear. It's what the spectators of the circuit want to hear. They don't want to see a technical, boring race. They want to see
Ryan
action.
Cannon wants the most technical, boring race in the history of karting at the moment, I've got to say.
No, the fans want action, and these drivers are going to give us it. Down the start-finish straight they go, and look at that. Charlton once more, a little bit earlier on the turn-in, has got a much tighter line into turn number 1 and is trying to hold that kart. This is the first time that we've seen Cannon under pressure this weekend so far. Longfield still there in 3rd place, is starting to actually drop back. No. Bradley Barrett is coming through.
Oh, Bradley Barrett at the inside. Longfield's just set the fastest lap of the race, but he's under pressure of Barrett, and Barrett's under pressure of Miles Murphy. Murphy in the Moore Racing Demon Tweak sponsored number 6 kart moves into P4, and Tom Longfield, it's the first time we've seen him set fast lap all day, but then he comes to pressure, and now Cannon and Charlton have a gap.
They do, so it must have been a mistake out of one of the corners then, as again Bradley Barrett's trying to get past Murphy as quickly as he can. He just lost the place. He wants it back now as they go back down the start-finish straight once more through all the gears, and then back down they go through turn number 1. Clear breakaway at the front here as Charlton also looks like he's dropping back from Cannon.
Yeah, Ryan Cannon, again, is what he's done. There's the fastest lap of the race, 49.69 seconds, Anthony. And, Cannon just solid. Now Miles Murphy up the inside going to centre 1. Longfield runs wide, misses the apex, opens the door. Now, it might look as though the track is getting very slick. It's because there's a very dark cloud over us, and that is just causing the rubber build-up. So the shininess on the track, you see, it's not water, it's rubber. It's the rubber off these tyres to show that you've seen drivers come in speaking to you, Anthony, how tired they are because there's so many sort of medium and high speed corners on a track that is so grippy at the moment.
It really is as they go again past the start-finish line. Like you say, you can see how shiny it is. Defensive goes Barrett, though, in the background as Alan Kenyon's trying to get through on that number 8 kart as they, again, those two drivers absolutely line astern in terms of championship points. Again, it's still Charlton there in 3rd. In the points, it's going to be now who can take 3rd between Charlton and Kenyon. And at the moment, Charlton's got it covered because Kenyon here is under pressure from Turner behind as well. Yep,
the Saudi kart, the privateer driver, Alan Kenyon. Now, Longfield slipping back a little bit. He's been passed by Murphy's under pressure from Barrett. And, I think, Tom Longfield, he knows that he was looking for a miracle. The miracle isn't going to happen. You can see the leaders pulling away. You can see the podium now disappearing in the distance. So he's got to refocus now, Tom Longfield has. He has to refocus. He can still get on the podium. But Bradley Barrett wants to do something about that at the moment. Cannon would become the only two-time race winner in the Kz2 class this year, and with a victory, he would move onto a tie with James Glenister all-time for the most Kz2 wins in the British Kart Championship. Andy Fairless Racing would take their 5th. That would put them even further clear of Rush Performance. We've had 3 wins by privateers, 2 by Adam Glear and 1 by Joe Charlton in the British Championship. So privateer drivers are still, can still do it at this level in gearbox karting. Here's Longfield, though, under pressure from the Sodi Vitesse entry of Bradley Barrett. And I think regardless of where Tom Longfield, and he's shaking his head there, Anthony, but I think when you do the interviews at the end of this one, regardless of if Longfield's in the top 3 or not, we need to hear from both Cannon and Longfield. It's been an epic title fight between them.
No, it definitely has indeed. So we'll try and find him afterwards, because, like you say, 2021 for KZ2, it has been an up and down championship for a lot of these drivers, but it has been their championship. There's not been many drivers in it, of course, this year, but of course, for the viewers at home, you've got to admit, and for some of the senior drivers out there, that this is a championship you want to be a part of.
Oh my word, wouldn't you just? It's like, with the rise of sim rigs, where you have the gear sticks, you have the paddle shifts in the kart, and where you have the gear shifts. More and more people are doing gearbox racing, even if it's in their living room.
Yeah.
And they don't realise it. So more and more people have got the potential to jump into a gearbox kart, suddenly isn't so daunting, because you've been doing sim racing in the comfort of your own home during lockdown.
Yeah.
Why not do it for real now?
Yeah, exactly that. And, to set some of the fastest times around the UK circuits in some of the fastest karts.
Oh, yes.
What a way to start a race. Because, if I was to start a race, yes, rolling starts are all, they're fun, they're technical and everything like that. But to start watching those lights to go out, to smack it in a first gear and go off the line, that's a great feeling, isn't it?
Yep, and I tell you what's going to be a great feeling for Joe Charlton is if he gets any closer to Ryan Cannon. As last time around, Charlton got the gap down to 0.4 of a second. This lap, Cannon looks a little bit quicker than Charlton, not by much. The race for the race win is not over yet. 6.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time, Anthony.
Plenty of time to close that gap. I'll keep an eye on the old sector times for us.
You have a look at the sector times. Well, I'll have a look to see if Miles Murphy has not yet stood on a British Kart Championship podium. As Cannon there, 49.40. Charlton on that Energy Course chassis, privateer driver, Oliver Hodgson mechanicking for him. Goes through the back straight chicane. You can see up through the gears, down through the gears. Now up a couple of gears. We're going to down 1, 2, 3 gears into Gasworks here. But now up 1, up 2, up 3. Round here, down 2. And then we're going to go down another gear into the final corner. Now watch his right hand now. Up, all the way up the main straight, past the old pit lane exit. They've got one hand on the steering wheel. They put 2 hands on the wheel to go through turn number 1. They keep it in the same gear through turn 2, and then down the gears now, turning right over the curbs and shifting down at the same time into the dog leg. And now they'll pick back up there. So it's like 20, 25 gear changes a lap.
Yeah. So it's very physical, it's very demanding on a driver, and that's what makes it such a challenge. That's what takes karting to the next level, is adding that next physical aspect of racing.
And I've got to say, for the viewers at home, they've not been able to see KZ2 drivers up close and personal in action before.
No.
So the coverage that we were able to bring them to really see the effort that these drivers are going to, as they come through the horseshoe there, you can see that the physicality that these drivers are going through. And again, you miss one shift and you over rev these engines. They're already at revving to like 11, 12,000 revs. You over rev these suckers and then they go ping.
Yeah, yes, they do.
And your wallet goes.
Yeah, very, very violently it goes ping as well, doesn't it? So, drivers got to watch out for it. That gap now is less than half a second. Once more as Charlton sets the fastest lap of the race, courtesy of Motorsport Timing in. Rogers, thank you very much.
Bradley Barrett has got through. Bradley Barrett is up in the 4th place. Longfield down to 5th. It's now Charlie Turner in 6th. Alan Kenyon still in 7th place. The gap, Charlton 606 points, Kenyon 598. Kenyon is only 1 point ahead of Charlie Turner and only 4 points in front of Bradley Barrett. So if we have another little look at the championship points possibly on the screen, we can see that Alan Kenyon in kart number 8, he's got 598 points there. He's going to be looking over his shoulder. Turner, if Turner gets past Longfield, that could move Turner into 4th and push Kenyon down to 5th. And if somehow Barrett could get up onto the podium, that could put Barrett 4th in the championship. So Alan Kenyon, we're not seeing much of him in kart number 8. He's only 0.2 of a second for number 33, Darren Allen.
He is indeed. So this could all spice things up a little bit more as well in that mid-pack in terms of the championship points. Back here at the front, though, because once more Charlton has closed that gap in here, though.
Darren Allen's got past Kenyon.
He has indeed. So
that's going to help Charlie Turner.
It will update then when they next cross the line.
Yep.
Let's see if it was enough just to get past there. Will that match them on points from this position?
Oh, now you're asking. Kenyon's fighting back. Kenyon's fighting back. Every position counts. We'll keep the points on the screen until they cross the line. That'll update them. Alan Kenyon is fighting for his championship position here, and it is Turner now 4th in the championship. Kenyon down to 5th. They're tied, but Charlie Turner is higher up in this race, the last race of the season. That's the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Bradley Barrett has got to make a couple of moves. Well, he is 1.7 seconds behind Miles Murphy, but there we go. So thank you very much. That's an idea. So Turner has got to stay where he is. Kenyon has got to try and fight back, and that would give him 4th place in the championship back.
It will indeed. So very close all the way through this pack then. 2.5 minutes to go then, plus that one additional lap. Back here with the race leader, though, and the championship leader, Ryan Cannon, number 2. Across the line once more. Again, 49.3 that lap. Joe Charlton, 49.4. So there is still a difference between the two of them, but they are fluctuating. They are staying at that buffer of half a second. But I can tell you who did set the fastest lap of the race. Miles Murphy. There it is on your screen, the number 6 with a 49.330 in 3rd place. He's currently 1.6 seconds further down the road, but there he is on your screen. He is hunting these two down with 2 minutes to go, plus that one lap. That is still possible.
It is, yeah. He has got the bit between his teeth, Anthony. I mean, Joe Charlton. So Joe Charlton, all Joe Charlton's going to be thinking is 3rd of the championship. And he's thinking, well, if I win, that's better. He's not going to know that he's currently 3rd of the championship. He doesn't have to make a move on Ryan Cannon. So Charlton is going to continue to push. There is Murphy. And Murphy, let's have a look at the lap times. 49.4 for Cannon, 49.6 for Charlton, 49.3 for Miles Murphy. The Moore Racing team will be cheering on their man with 90 seconds to go.
What can he do then as he go through St. John's into that infield straight? They come towards the centre S's, and that gap now has come down 0.3 of a second, so he's only a few tenths down from Charlton. But you know, it's one thing catching up to a group of drivers, it's another thing to try and pass them. And with only 1 minute to go, that's going to be a very tall order. But can Miles Murphy get that job done? He's had a tough season. He had a tough end to his season last year as well. I remember at Fullbeck, he had kart issues. That kart ground to a halt. And this year as well, he had some gremlins at the start of the season, but is looking stronger at the end of this season. And he's quick out there right now because, again, across the line, he's a little bit faster than Charlton, a little bit slower than Cannon, so he is still gaining on Charlton, but at a very slow pace.
Yeah, and he's going to run out of time. 30 seconds to go. The order, Cannon, Charlton, Murphy. Then a gap of 3 seconds back to Barrett, Longfield and Turner, who are still separated by less than half a second. Behind Turner, it's Allen in 7th, Kenyon in 8th, Lee Ward 9th, Ashley Lewis is 10th. Josh Price and Dan Gould are out of the race. And at the moment, Turner is going to take 4th place in the title chase from Kenyon on a tiebreaker, with Barrett just 3 points further back. Some encouragement from the sidelines as Ryan Cannon, the clock strikes 0.
It struck 0 about half a kart length while he was passing the start-finish line. So he's still got 2 more laps of this 2021 season to go.
Well, the longest 2 laps of his life for Ryan Cannon. Let's see. Can he just keep it together? It's now keeping it together emotionally. He knows what's going on in the kart. You've got to just take everything else out of your mind. Just focus on gears, accelerators, brakes and corners. That's what you've got to do. Shut everything else out of your mind. He's extended his lead over Joe Charlton. Charlton's not going to catch him. Murphy is closing in on Joe Charlton, but I think, Anthony, the final lap of the season belongs to Ryan Cannon. Here we go.
It definitely does. He has had a stellar season and a stellar weekend. Absolutely dominating here at Warden Law in the northeast of England. Here for the team, Andy Fairless Racing, the Scottish driver on that Birla chassis, number 2. It was second last year, but this year is Cannon's year as he comes round the last couple of corners. He's only got a few more corners to go, and you've got to think what goes through a driver's head at this point in the race. What goes through the driver's mind, because you've got to think at this point he thinks it's been a great year, it's been a great season, I can't do any more. It's just literally drive this kart round the final lap here at Warden Law. One more corner to go, and a season, a championship, and a checkered flag for Ryan Cannon in KZ2 for Andy Fairless Racing. The number 2 becomes the number 1 for Ryan Cannon. Joe Charlton crosses in second place from Miles Murphy, who gained 4 places in that one and set on the last lap the fastest lap of the race of a 49.3, but third place is the highest Miles can go, and there on your screen, KZ2 champion Ryan Cannon.
Well done, and well done to the Andy Fairless Racing team, to Birla ART Kart, to TM Engines, and to the entire Cannon family who have mechanicked and supported him. Commiserations, but a huge well done as well to the privateer driver, number 17, Tom Longfield, on the Comp Kart chassis, whose family, whose dad, who's got family friends, mechanics, they're all running. They've hired a little bit of space in the Dan Holland awning, but all season they have been just on their own, in their own little awning, and they have taken the fight to one of the biggest teams in recent KZ2 gearbox karting history, and they have finished second in the British title. A huge well done to Miles Murphy and More Racing for getting their first podium of the season, and to Joe Charlton for finally showing what he can do in his championship defence. He finishes third in the championship point standings. But Ryan Cannon, Scotland has its first KZ2 gearbox champion for several years. I'm trying to think back to the last Scotsman that had it. Might have been, I can't remember Dan's name, Dan's surname, not Dan Kelly, but there we have the view on the graphic screen, and he saw that as he crossed the line. So that is confirmation. Anthony Jordan will be going down into the pit lane area. We'll probably see him as you're watching the karts go through the weighbridge area. There's Miles Murphy taking his kart off the weighbridge. Anthony Jordan will be down there to speak to what I'm sure will be a very relieved, very emotional Ryan Cannon, and also to Tom Longfield, who has been a superb ambassador for KZ2 all season as well. At the end of a hard-fought race, there can only ever be one champion, only ever be one winner, and on this occasion there is Alan Kenyon. You can see on his Sodi Kart outfit, he finishes 5th in the championship. He drops behind Charlie Turner and Joe Charlton there at the last race of the season. You can see, I think that's actually Lewis there on the left of the screen. In the blue race suit, you've got Lee Ward, who've all played their part this year. But there's Darren Allen taking off his crash helmet and just taking a breather. Anthony Jordan, though, has our KZ2 champion, Ryan Cannon.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, indeed, I do. Ryan Canyon, at the end of 2021, you are Wera Tools British kart champion for KZ2. What a feeling that is.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted.
Any more on top of that?
I'm lost for words. I just want to thank everybody that's helped me. It wasn't just me that won it, it was the help of everybody else as well.
It's this weekend here at Warden Law, I heard you saying that it's a tough circuit, probably the toughest circuit that we've had on the calendar so far for KZ2 this year. But for you, this weekend has been seamless. You've been at the top, at the sharp end all the way throughout, holding on to that one, keeping Tom at bay and keeping everyone at bay, really. But yeah, you can definitely take this weekend away as a high.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming into this last round in front in the championship, I knew it was all mine to lose, and the pressure has been unbearable most of the weekend. But yeah, we pulled through.
I can imagine that's a huge weight lifted off your shoulders at the end of this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, anyone you'd like to thank? I'm sure there's quite a few.
Yeah, Sue and Andy at AFR Racing, my mechanic Craig McNabb, all my family for supporting me. As I said, it's not just me, it's all them that have helped to get this result.
Well, like I say, you've got it now. The number 1 in the kart seat there, you can see at home as well. That number 2 will be changing for next season. Is there any plans for next season as well? What's the plan on the cards?
Well, I've still got some more racing to do next month at Philbeck for the Super 4 Championship, but I've not decided yet what I'm doing next year.
Well, hopefully we see you back sporting that number 1 in Kz2 here for the British Kart Championship. But Ryan Cannon, well done. Our 2021 Wera Tools British Kart Championship Kz2 winner.
Thanks very much.
Excellent stuff there. Let's talk to second place man, Joe Charlton. Joe, the new chassis come. It's proved it works well. Second place in the final in this one. You know, the championship has been a tough one with those chassis, of course, but you can have your head held high. You know, finishing second here at Warden Law, it's a tough circuit.
Yeah, it's the hardest circuit on the calendar by far. But, you know, you can't... Kudos to... his name, Brian. Forgot for a second. No, kudos to Brian. He's been so consistent all year, you know, always there or thereabouts, and he's just got quicker and quicker. You know, he's driven really well this year. You know, he was so close last year, obviously, with everything that happened. But no, he's done really well, and fair play to him today. Yeah, I pushed, but I couldn't quite do it.
I mean, you certainly did. You were catching him at quite a rate on that one, but it was a tough old race. You know, for next season, are we planning on seeing you back in the paddock here? I do hope we are seeing you back.
Still deciding yet. Still seeing. See what happens. Take a bit of time out now, recharge the batteries, and maybe have another go next year. Maybe try something else. We'll see.
We'll have a see. But for Ryan Cannon, not Ryan Cannon, we've already spoken to Ryan Cannon. Joe Charlton. There we go. It's been a long old weekend, folks. Joe Charlton, you know, fantastic. Well done on a tough season.
No, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff there for our second place man. Let's chat to our third place man, Miles Murphy. Miles, well, I tell you what, fastest lap on the last lap of that race. You know, it was. Yeah, it was. You seem surprised.
Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, it's one of those where it started well. We got pole, and then it was a kind of disaster until the final. But yeah, it's one of those again. First lap, we get sideswept over, we get a nose cone, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I don't think we'll keep third unless we're 5 seconds ahead of the next guy. I don't know what. I haven't seen the sheet yet, but yeah, At least we can end on some sort of high. You know, we probably won't get the pot that we probably deserve. But yeah, after how badly the mid-season went with car issues and everything, at least we ended it back on pace. So we'll take that as a positive.
Yeah, there's definitely a positive there, isn't it? Like for a lot of drivers, it has been an up and down year in terms of car, failures, issues with karts or anything like that. But you know, to finish the season at Warden Law, it's a fantastic circuit. It's a challenging circuit as well for some as well.
It's very good. We need more tracks that are like fitness heavy as this. Like we should be going to places like Wilton Milk in Bolton. I hope they sort that out for next year. But yeah, before I finish, I want to say big thanks to mechanic Tom Moore, everyone at Moore Racing. It's been such a hard year where there's points where we thought literally we should probably quit. We chose not to, how much difficulty we have, and yeah, come back in, find a new car, put it on pole, have pace all weekend. It's a shame we probably won't get the pot we deserve, like I said. And also, yeah, big thanks to Mum and Dad and Stephen Twiggs, of course. It's all over the kart, sponsor the series. Look, they have a good shout, especially the Johnny had a great race this weekend at Goodwood, which you should probably check out on YouTube.
Well, I'll give that a watch then. You should see it at home as well. Well, excellent stuff. Third place finish, hopefully in this one. Hopefully that nose cone doesn't bite you back at all. But well done, Miles Murphy. Great result for you today.
Cheers, mate. Take care, Joe.
Spot on there. Right, now let's find Mr. Longfield. He's over here. Hopefully you don't lose connection, Mr. Cameraman. I'm going to get run over by karts here, coming over all the way. It's the Longfield before he runs away. Tom, can we crack a quick word? Excellent. Well, Tom, what a season it's been for you. All the way to Warden Law, it's been a title fight, but, you know, to come back second with this one, you're going to get that number 2 plate. It's still a good feeling, but for you, you've put in a stellar performance this year.
Yeah, we worked very hard. Bit disappointed, I won't lie, but, you know, that's racing. Ryan has been the class act this year, and big congratulations to him, really, because, you know, this weekend, unbeatable, I think.
I mean, yourself, you struggled on pace a little earlier on this weekend, but you got to say it's been a great season for you. Any highs you can take away from this season?
I think the biggest high has got to be that final down at Mansell Raceway, which really should have been mine, but we lost it on the last lap. But no, a lot of good memories. You know, it's the reason I come racing, because I love it, and you can't lose sight of why we come racing. It's for fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's very competitive and we all want to win, but first box to be ticked for me is enjoy it. It might not look like I enjoy it all the time, but that's because we want to do the best we can, you know. But massive thank you to everybody at KKC, Comp Kart, J3, my dad, my mum, Brian Rush, Mike Seabett, you know, the list goes on. But without the support of all those people, I wouldn't be standing here now. So, no, very grateful for everything that everybody does for me.
Yeah, I can imagine so. You know, it's a fantastic sport, it's a fantastic class, a fantastic group of drivers. What is the plan for next year? Are we planning on coming back to do that title fight once again?
Yeah, I won't sleep easy until I've got that #1, so I've got to come back and give it another go, haven't I?
Good answer, good answer. We'll see you in 2022.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys.
Perfect, excellent there. Tom Longfield then, our runner-up in the 2021 Wera Tools British Kart Championship. What a fantastic end to the round here at Warden Law.
Now, we're going to go through everything in race order, but with one slight change. We're going to do the Kz2 Championship Presentation first. So please, just before we get any further ado, a big well done to all the Kz2 drivers and their teams for putting on some fantastic racing this year. It's the pinnacle of British karting, and you've been great ambassadors for the sport. Thank you very much. You could applaud that if you want, or just not bother. It's up to you. There we go. So we'll move on to the top rookie in KZ2. Sam Winter is doing the 350-mile drive home already with his kart on top of his Astra estate car. So he's not here, but we'll give him his trophy there. Now the top three, and in third place, his first podium of the year, it's Miles Murphy. Yeah, you get to pick it up. Taking home the second place trophy and the top privateer, the defending champion, it's Joe Charlton. And what we'll do, we'll quietly get the top privateer trophy, which I forgot to put out for Joe in a minute. But your winner today and your 2021 Motorsport UK KZ2 British Kart Champion, all the way from Scotland, it's Ryan Cannon. And his William mechanic, Craig McNabb. So, there you go. Well, you can, yes, and we can undo that, right. Yeah. The most important bit. So, Ryan Cannon, last year's #2. For Andy Fairless Racing, 3 wins, 3 different winners out of 4 rounds this year for the KZ2 class. We hope to have you all back and a lot more next year. Your KZ2 final podium for today and champion for 2021, Ryan Cannon.